This is Channel 3 Reports.
At the top of the news tonight, well, they gave us a good ride. At the beginning of the second season in January, nobody would have expected how well things went. They even got us to the playoffs, but now the season's over. Not even Tuesday night magic could help as the Rockets swept the Kings.
Channel 3 Sports Director Bob Hogue now joins us with a wrap-up on tonight's game and really on on this season.
Absolutely, it's all over, huh? Yeah, the Kings coming out on fire in Game 3 tonight. The fans were certainly on fire, but you might say that the Kings ran out of heat in the third quarter. The Rockets upping a 4-point halftime lead into a 14-point lead by the end of the third quarter. That jam by Rodney McRae really says it all. And later, Lewis Lloyd's three-pointer at the end of the third period put an exclamation point on the victory. The Rockets go on to win it 113-108. Let's go to John Malice now for some reaction from the Kings fans. Johnny?
Okay, Bob, thank you very much. It has been an incredible first season for the Sacramento Kings and their fans. 41 consecutive sellouts here at the arena during the regular season. Another sellout tonight that makes 42 in a row at 10,333. And the fans have been supportive right down to the very end. You remember they cheered the team when they lost to Milwaukee by 58. And they cheered the team when they lost to the Lakers. And again tonight, they were here cheering the team as they were swept by the Houston Rockets.
They did great, I think, and we had season tickets, and it was a great year. I had a great time.
Okay, what about you, sir? How do you feel about the season?
Well, it was just phenomenal. It was more like it seemed like more than really basketball. It was like a big party here.
They need more height to combat Olajuwon and Sampson, that's for sure. Because I think every time they went down the court, there was a slam dunk on Oberding or Tyler or anybody playing underneath there.
The fans that talk to you are exactly right. We do need more height, particularly against a team like Houston. Of course, there isn't anybody in the league that matches up with Houston. So that's one point you have to believe. But we do need a bigger club, but we also have got to get a guard that can play a guy like Reed. We need a big defensive guard, and that's another one of our needs.
Well, Joe Axelson, the general manager of the Sacramento Kings, is exactly right, but there isn't going to be a big man available in the draft. If they want to get a big man for the 1986-87 season, they're going to have to trade for it. But as I toss it back to you in the studio, history was made in Sacramento in the 1985-86 season. As we got our first major league team, it went to the playoffs, swept 3 straight by the Houston Rockets, a great basketball team of their own.
Okay, thank you very much, Johnny. It's been a great season indeed. We'll have more in sports for you.
All right.
Thank
you, Bob. And of the news tonight, President Ray, after 85 games, it's hard to believe it's over.
That's right. Tough way to go out. You lose your last 5 games of the year, and everybody's going to remember that, but it was just an incredible, magical season for a group of overachievers. Well, it's all over for the Kings tonight. They were swept by the Rockets in 3 straight games in the playoffs. The key was simple: good shooting by the Rockets, poor shooting by the Kings. Yes, that's simple. The final score of the final game from Sacramento this year, 113-98 Rockets. Roll it from the Madhouse on Market Street for the last time this year. That's where the crowd was pumped. So were the Kings in the early going. Eddie Johnson's slam gave the Kings their first lead, and they built up a 5-point margin on this steal by Reggie Theus. His dunk made it 18-13. But things began to go the Rockets' way at the end of the period when Ralph Sampson, of all people, hit this 3-pointer at the buzzer. The Kings still led by 3 at 26-23. From there, the Rockets took control, playing great defense inside. How about this? And then they would start their running game, running out to an 8-point lead. This will be Lewis Lloyd, who would go on to hit for 26. Still, the Kings hung in there in the second period. Joe Klein's move in the lane made it 55-51 Rockets at halftime. The third quarter, though, belonged totally to the Rockets. Here's a perfect picture of the Kings' frustration as Lloyd hits in the drive to give the Rockets a 5-point lead. Then a turnover, and that's a quick bucket by Mitch Wiggins. The Kings never recovered after that. This basket seemed to exemplify the Rockets' determination down the stretch as Rodney McRae jams one home over Mike Woodson. That made it a 9-point lead, and when Lloyd hit at the third quarter buzzer on another 3-pointer, the lead was up to 87-73. The Kings made one last run as Eddie Johnson hit 6 straight points to pull the Kings to within 9, but the Rockets, and in particular Ralph Sampson, slammed the door in their face, winning 113-105. We go out to the arena now for post-game reaction from John Malice. Johnny?
Well, Bob, Tuesday night magic simply did not work here tonight against the Houston Rockets. As a matter of fact, the last time the Kings lost a Tuesday night home game in the playoffs was 1983 to this same Rocket Ball Club. But, I find of a statistic. Very interesting tonight. The Kings doing the job on the boards, out-rebounding Houston 44-39, but the Rockets out-shooting the Kings 56% to the Kings' 38% shooting. The Kings not a good shooting team tonight. However, it was an outstanding season as history was made in Sacramento. LaSalle Thompson has some thoughts about that.
It's like a dream come true. You know, the city really supported us, and they were really behind us. They made us feel like winners, and it's the most fun I've ever had doing a basketball season in my life.
Joe, you glad you came to Sacramento after all?
Oh, yeah. I think that out of all the cities in the league that I had the best one by far, and I'm just very glad to be a part of this organization. And I just hope that through my work in the summer and through everybody's work in the summer, that we can do a much better job next year.
What was the difference in the series?
I think personally the difference is we just didn't play well.
How about the Twin Towers?
I think they played well. I think they did what they're supposed to do. But I can't really give them total credit because we didn't, as a team, we just didn't play very well.
Right now we're on a collision course with Portland or Denver, and that's what we're looking forward to. But right now we like this series. We like the win. We like the sweep, and we'll just taste that one for a day or two, and go to work when we get back in Houston on whoever we have to play.
Big Ralph Sampson, 25 points, 12 boards. Lewis Lloyd also with 25 points. The season comes to an end. And also, I want to throw in one last note, Bob. Ed Fowler, the Houston sports writer, escorted off the court tonight with 3 guards around him. But it was a fantastic season nonetheless. Back to you in the studio.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, Ed is going to get the last laugh in his column, isn't he?